day to you, monsieur.
Shush, 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 silence.
I like your fishing rod. It's a beauty.
Yes, nice, isn't it? It's an enhanced fiberglass telescope, ultralight 47, the latest model.
Do you mind if I hold your fishing rod for a while?
Sorry, my friend, it was very expensive. I spent 800 francs on it, and I'm not going to let anyone else touch it.
Could you give me one of your fish?
On a normal day, I would, but I just haven't been able to catch enough today.
How many fish have you caught?
Well, not a single one, my friend.
That's not a knot.
Yeah, precisely. I must try to catch some now, otherwise I will have nothing to offer this evening.
You're planning to sell the fish?
No. I have visitors coming this evening, you understand?
I see. I suppose there's nothing doing then.
Sorry. Why don't you just buy a fishing rod of your own and come and join me? Who knows? If you're nice and quiet, you may be lucky.
What are you planning to catch?
You may not believe me, but I've caught all kinds of things here. You know, I've caught pike 5 meters long, with eyes like plates and razor-sharp teeth. That's why I bought this rod. The last one was pulled clean out of my hands by one of those beasts.
Do you expect me to believe that?
Of course, it's the truth. I swear it. I even had some photos of one of those fish, but I'm afraid I lost them. They fell into the water. Right here.
And now there's not a shred of evidence to support your story. That is a pity.
Don't you believe me? Ask Capitaine Deneuve. He will confirm it. I often show him the fish that I catch.
Capitaine Deneuve? Who's that?
Oh, you don't know him? He captains the ferry that brought you here. He's over there, on board. He's experienced a lot and has been all over the place. He knows a lot of stories. Incredible stories.
Oh? Like what, for example?
You'll have to ask him that himself. I never really listen properly when he starts spinning his yarns. He's bound to tell you a story or two. You just have to know how to deal with him.
Is he a very difficult man, then?
Well, he doesn't like strangers much. And he hates people talking about his job in the ferry company. He's a proud old man, you see, and stubborn.
I see. I'm used to people like that. I'll get on all right with them. I have to go. Good luck with your fishing.
Thank you, thank you.
Hello, Captain.
Bonjour.
Do you know the castle of Carmore? I say,
I might.
when are you leaving for Portsmouth?
In 2 hours. Are you coming?
No, I think I'll stay here for a bit.
Very well.
That doesn't work. should think up something else. I'd better not. Hello, Captain.
Sure.
How are you?
All right.
Do you know the castle of Carmore? I say,
I might.
well, do you know the castle or don't you? You're not being very talkative.
No.
Oh, well, thanks for the conversation.
You're welcome.
It's me again.
Quiet! My God, haven't you been listening? I'm trying to catch fish, my friend.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry.
Well, how do you like the area? Have you explored it yet?
Not really, to be honest.
Aha. Then what are you doing here again? Trying to scare the fish away, hmm?
No. There were just a few points I wanted to clear up.
Very well. But keep your voice down, will you?
Certainly. Tell me, my good man, which way is the castle?
Castle? Oh, you mean the burnt down mound of rubble on the outskirts of the village, I suppose?
Yes, that's it.
What do you want to go there for? There's nothing to see there.
I just want to take a look around. So, which way do I go?
Oh, that's simple. Just follow the road through the village, past the crossroads, and straight ahead. Keep going for about 3 kilometers, then you can't miss it.
So the castle burnt down, did it?
Yes, that's right. I think it happened in some war or other, or during the Inquisition. But that was hundreds of years ago.
Have you ever heard of the Lord of the Castle of Carmore?
Yes, of course. My parents used to tell me about him in order to scare me when I wouldn't go to bed. For the children of Carmore, the Lord was a kind of bogeyman, you know. Our parents used to tell us horror stories about him.
What did they say?
That villagers used to vanish, that the Lord would catch and kill little children. They told me, "Pierre, sleep now, or the Lord will come and get you." I remember it as if it had been yesterday.
What did people believe would happen if the Lord came to get you?
You'd be killed and fed to the Lord's hounds. At least, that's what my parents told me.
That's not much of a bedtime story to tell a small boy.
True, but it worked. We kept away from the castle after dark, believe me.
Was the Lord such an evil character then?
Oh, yes, so I've heard. They say he murdered his entire family, not to mention half the household. He was a madman, but I don't remember many details of the old stories.
Have you ever been to the castle as an adult?
Yes, a couple of times. We needed stones for our new stable, but I don't mind telling you, I wasn't too happy out there.
I have to go. Good luck with your fishing.
Thank you, thank you.
This must be the castle. Or rather, what's left of it. Pretty creepy. That's a form for stationery procurement. Without that, you don't get anything at Scotland Yard. Fingerprint powder. The green scarf. The green scarf. A roll of plastic bag. That's a clipboard. That's a clipboard. That's a clipboard. A matchbox. Still half full. Hello, I'm back.
Damn quiet, I said. Are you trying to frighten the fish off?
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. I was miles away. I've had a look round the area. I've been to the ruin.
And what do you think of our little village?
It's nice. But I've got a few more questions regarding our last tour.
Oh, well, go ahead and ask. But please,
Quietly. Right?
precisely, my friend. You learn quickly.
I'd like to speak to you about the castle of Carmore.
I've told you all I know about it.
What do you know about the castle?
Not much. It's supposed to have belonged to a rich family around here many centuries ago. As a child, I used to play in the ruins with my friends, but it's not really safe to go walking around.
Why is that?
It's in danger of collapsing, my friend. Anyway, it's pretty creepy out there, especially in the cemetery. There's not much left of the castle nowadays. Local farmers use the ruin as a quarry when they need stones for their houses. There's just a few bits of rubble left, that's all.
Have you ever heard of the Lord of the Castle of Carmore?
Yes, of course. My parents used to tell me about him in order to scare me when I wouldn't go to bed. For the children of Carmore, the Lord was a kind of bogeyman, you know. Our parents used to tell us horror stories about him.
What did they say?
That villagers used to vanish, that the Lord would catch and kill little children. They told me, Pierre, sleep now, or the Lord will come and get you. I remember it as if it had been yesterday.
I have to go. Good luck with your fishing.
Thank you, thank you.
Hello, I'm back.
Damn quiet, I said. Are you trying to frighten the fish off?
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. I was miles away. I've had a look round the area. I've been to the ruin.
And what do you think of our little village?
It's nice. But I've got a few more questions regarding our last tour.
Oh, well, go ahead and ask, but please,
Quietly. Right?
precisely, my friend. You learn quickly.
I'd like to speak to you about fishing.
What would you like to know?
I like your fishing rod. It's a beauty.
Yes, nice, isn't it? It's an enhanced fiberglass telescope, ultralight 47, the latest model.
What are you planning to catch?
You may not believe me, but I've caught all kinds of things here. You know, I've caught pike 5 meters long, with eyes like plates and razor-sharp teeth. That's why I bought this rod. The last one was pulled clean out of my hands by one of those beasts.
You expect me to believe that?
Of course, it's the truth. I swear it. I even had some photos of one of those fish, but I'm afraid I lost them. They fell into the water, right here.
And now there's not a shred of evidence to support your story. That is a pity.
Don't you believe me? Ask Capitaine Deneuve. He will confirm it. I often show him the fish that I catch.
Capitaine Deneuve? Who's that?
Oh, you don't know him? He captains the ferry that brought you here. He's over there, on board. He's experienced a lot and has been all over the place. He knows a lot of stories. Incredible stories.
Oh? Like what, for example?
You'll have to ask him that yourself. I never really listen properly when he starts spinning his yarns. He's bound to tell you a story or two. You just have to know how to deal with him.
How to deal with him? What do you mean?
Not so loud, please.
Because of the fish?
No, because of Capitaine Deneuve. He might hear us.
And?
Look, I'll tell you something. Deneuve's a bit strange. He insists on being addressed by his title. It's how do you call it? A peculiarity of his.
Oh? Why is that?
He's an old sea dog from a real old seafaring family. Some ancestor of his served in Napoleon's fleet. He himself used to go out to sea doing the real thing. Got a master's certificate and all that. Seen the world, so he says. These days he just captains the ferry. But he still insists on people using his title. He says his rank should still command people's respect.
Oh, well, if that's all, I don't mind. What do I have to call him then?
Monsieur le Capitaine Charles Deneuve. That's his full title. He'll appreciate that.
Got it. Thanks for the hint. I have to go. Good luck with your fishing.
Thank you, thank you.
Excuse me.
What?
You're Monsieur le Capitaine Charles Deneuve, aren't you?
Yes, that is correct, my boy. Charles Deneuve, Captain of the Merchant Navy of France. How do you know my name?
I've been talking to a friend of yours, the fisherman over there at the jetty.
Pierre? Ah, yes, old Pierre. I expect he has been telling you about his pike, the one that was 5 meters long.
Yes, he did. Is his story true?
To be honest with you, my boy, Pierre tends to exaggerate a little, just like all fishermen. The pike was about 4.5 meters long, no more than that.
Pierre says you're from Carmont, like he is. Is that true?
Yes, that's right. I grew up here. As a youngster, I wanted to be a fisherman and used to work on my father's trawler. Later, I went to naval college to become a captain of the Merchant Navy of France. I have a small house at the end of the road, just behind Francois' Bistro.
Tell me more about Pierre.
I meet him almost every day. He doesn't have much to do these days, not since the fishing industry went down the drain.
So he's a fisherman, is he?
He used to have 3 trawlers and 5 employees. But nobody wants French fish anymore these days. They're too expensive. Now he spends his days sitting at the jetty, catching a few fish for himself and his friends to eat. They meet round at his place practically every evening and talk about old times, when they used to go out on their trawlers every day.
How long does he sit there fishing?
Until I come back with my last load of passengers. Since he's had that fishing rod, he sometimes sits there even longer. If I have time, we go over to Francois' place when I'm finished for the day.
Doesn't he have anything better to do?
No, not much. None of the villagers here has much to do, since business is so bad nowadays. Pierre has a small farm which supplies him with all he needs. A few years back, he built himself a small stable next to his house, where he keeps a few animals. His life is rather boring, really. That's why he's always pleased when I tell him a few stories.
Thank you, Monsieur le Capitaine. You've been a great help.
You're welcome, my boy.
Monsieur le Capitaine,
What can I do for you?
I've got a few more questions concerning our last conversation.
All right. Ask me anything you like, my boy.
Pierre says you're from Carmont, like he is. Is that true?
Yes, that's right. I grew up here. As a youngster, I wanted to be a fisherman and used to work on my father's trawler. Later, I went to naval college to become a captain of the Merchant Navy of France. I have a small house at the end of the road, just behind Francois' Bistro.
You used to work for the Merchant Navy?
Yes. I have been to practically every single port all over the world, from New York to Zanzibar, from Rotterdam to Cape Town. I have sailed all known and unknown oceans, rivers, backwaters, lakes, and canals. I have seen things no other man on earth has ever seen.
Sounds exciting.
Yes, but all that was a long time ago. In a few years' time, I shall retire and begin working on my memoirs.
Your memoirs? That sounds interesting.
Oh, yes, my boy. I've seen a lot, you know. Disasters, storm tides, elements, mysteries.
Really? Won't you tell me more?
I have seen ships disappear in the Bermuda Triangle. I saw the Prince of Egypt sink. I witnessed the accident of the Pride of Paris in Cape Town Harbor.
You were in all those places?
Of course. And that's not all. I have seen tsunamis 40 meters high and octopuses with 16 tentacles.
I thought octopuses only had 8 tentacles.
Quite, my boy, quite. I have seen things a common landlubber, no offense, my boy, cannot even begin to imagine. Octopuses with twice the normal number of tentacles. What do you say to that?
Well, that's quite incredible. What do you know about the castle of Carmore?
The castle. The castle is shrouded in greater mystery than the darkest secrets I have ever experienced or heard of.
That's saying something.
Precisely, my boy. After all, I have seen and heard more than most mortals could ever dream of. But none of it is as mysterious as the story of the castle of Carmore and its evil owner.
Tell me more about the castle.
The castle of Carmore was once the home of a good and righteous lord. Around 1000 AD, the Druids came there. You've heard of the Druids, I take it?
Oh, yes. Quite a lot, in fact. Go on. Where did these Druids come from?
They were the last of the Druids from Britain.
Really?
Yes, really, my boy.
Do you know why they came to the castle?
They entrusted the Lord and his family with the safekeeping of something of great value to them.
What was it?
Nobody ever found out, my boy.
All right, what happened then?
The item remained in the family's possession for generations. But then the castle went to a descendant of the family who was not good and righteous, but cruel and mean. The evil lord of Carmore.
Was that what he was called?
That's what he has been called for centuries. He was a tyrant and a murderer. He enjoyed killing and held satanic ceremonies at the castle. Villagers would disappear from Carmore and never be seen again. They say he was executed during the Inquisition.
What do you mean, they say? Was he or wasn't he?
No. I know the true story. The castle was destroyed before the Inquisition ever began.
But how?
The truth was told in a very old Breton legend.
And?
One day, a salt seller by the name of Gergen came to the castle of Carmore and asked the evil lord for a drink of water. But the lord set his dogs on the man.
Go on.
Out of revenge for the lord's cruelty, Gergen hurled a handful of salt at the castle, which tumbled down immediately, burying the lord beneath it.
But why?
It was an ancient druid curse.
How can salt destroy a whole castle?
Through the magic of the druids. Salt is a destructive element. It corrodes, it decomposes, it parches. It can make people die of thirst.
The salt seller had knowledge of druid customs?
Well, he certainly knew how to use the magic that druids employed to deal with their enemies.
So the evil lord died?
Yes. He's buried in the mausoleum in the castle cemetery.
How do you know all this?
From age-old stories that people tell around here. Children heard them from their parents, who in turn had been told them by their own parents. They were handed down through the generations. Sometimes, people even come here from town. People like you, asking about the old stories. Writers, researchers, all sorts. We even had a real aristocrat here from England once. He was very interested in the castle.
Do you know his name?
No, I've forgotten. It was quite a while ago.
What did the man want?
He said he'd lost something out at the ruin. A necklace, a family heirloom. It seems to have been very important to him. The 5 of them spent days searching the ruins.
5?
Yes, there were 5 of them. They rented rooms above the bistro. 5 bigwigs in smart suits. One even had a uniform on.
Did they find the necklace?
No, I don't think so. They left after a couple of days.
Interesting. Thank you, Monsieur le Capitaine. You've been a great help.
You're welcome, my boy.
That's a form for information procurement. Excuse me, Pierre.
Yes? Now what?
I'd like to ask you something about Capitaine Deneuve.
Have you spoken to him?
Yes, I have. And you were right. He's a very strange man. Can you really believe everything he says?
Well, I'm not sure, quite honestly. He's a sailor, and they're always full of stories. 50 years at sea are a long time. Enough time to experience a great deal. And for a lot of things to become a bit muddled up in one's mind.
Certainly seems to say some strange things.
I don't think all his stories are true, but there's a core of truth in many of them. You'll have to make up your own mind which of his stories to believe.
Is he a friend of yours?
Friend? Well, I've seen him almost every day for a number of years. He captains the ferry, I do my fishing. When he's finished for the day, we sometimes go over to the bistro for a glass of pastis. Yes, now I come to think of it, I suppose we are friends.
And you get on well with each other? I should think it's pretty difficult being friends with a man like him.
Oh, we get on rather well, really. We don't talk much, you know. If anything, he does the talking, spins his yarns. The only thing about him that sometimes drives me crazy is his damned cat.
The captain has a cat.
Yes, he lets her out here on the jetty in the morning and takes her back in at night. And the damned beast spends all day slinking around here.
You don't like cats?
I hate cats. They steal the fish from my bucket or get tangled up in my fishing line. The nerves creature has often knocked my bucket of bait over, and I've had to go and get some more. I've told him hundreds of times to take the animal on the ferry with him, but he just won't do it.
Why does he only captain a small ferry nowadays?
He used to command a large merchant ship, but then he was dismissed. I think it was because he drank. He missed Cape Town harbour in the fog.
That could have happened to anyone, drink or no drink.
Yes, but it so happens that with him it was drink. He was actually seeing double. In the fog, he saw the shadowy outlines of two bays and ordered his helmsman to set course for the one to the right.
And that was the wrong one?
Exactly. There was no right bay. The port had one bay, not two. But you'd better keep that to yourself. He gets pretty embarrassed if anyone mentions it.
I understand. Okay. Thank you for your assistance.
No problem. You're welcome.
Monsieur le Capitaine,
What can I do for you?
I can't do that. No way. That doesn't work. I can't do... I should think up something else. Excuse me, Pierre.
Yes? Now what?
I'd like to speak to you about fishing.
What would you like to know?
Are there many fish here? Have you caught anything?
When it is quiet enough, then I catch quite a few, so please speak quietly.
Why? Do fish have such good ears?
You bet. A single murmur and I'll have to sit here for an hour longer waiting for them.
Why are you fishing right here?
The ship's propellers whirl up a lot of plankton, which attracts the fish. Once the ferry has settled, I can often get a good catch.
Isn't this rather a noisy place for the fish?
No. The only time it's noisy is when the ferry's in. Other than that, it's really quiet. Unless, of course, people come up and bother me with too many questions, my friend.
What do you do with the fish?
Well, what do you think? I throw the little ones back in, and the big ones get eaten.
You eat these fish?
Of course. Why not?
Well, this water looks pretty murky to me.
No. This water is clean, and the fish are first class. Carmore used to be famous for its fishing industry, you know.
But they didn't fish with rods, did they?
Certainly not. There used to be a whole fleet of trawlers. But practically all the fishing businesses around here were forced to close down a while back.
I take it these drums contain fuel. Carmore. A picturesque little place. A de chevaux. Probably the fisherman's. I can't do that. Of course. No, better not. There's no point. That's futile as well. No, wait. I can't. I should. No, not a good idea. Looks like. No, that would be. I can't think first, Brent. I don't. No, there's no, not a chance. I can't do that. Captain Deneuve's cat, a rather stubborn beast, and on top of that it has fleas as well.
There! Did you see that? Did you see that? It's that damn cat again. She's knocked all my bait in the water. That's the third time this week.
Calm down. You can always get some new baits.
What about my fishing tackle? What about my telescope ultralight 47 for 800 francs? I can't leave it here unguarded. It could be stolen. I'll have to take everything with me, just because of that damned cat.
Don't worry, Pierre. I'll keep an eye on your things.
Would you?
Of course. No problem.
Thank you, my friend. Then I'll go right now.
I should think up something else. No, better not. That's Pierre's bucket. It's empty. Pierre's fishing rod. A telescope ultralight 47, if I'm not mistaken. Now the bucket's hanging from the fishing rod. No, not a chance. This doesn't need salting. 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 That won't get me. These are huge lumps of salt. This doesn't need so this doesn't need this doesn't this doesn't need salt. This does this doesn't need salting. This doesn't need salt. This doesn't need salting. This doesn't need salting. Of course, it can't. I should think about it again. I'd rather think about it again. The ceiling of the tower has caved in. The ceiling of the tower has caved in. The ceiling of the tower has caved in. This doesn't need so this doesn't need this doesn't need salting. The green scarf. It's Janet's. The green scarf. It's Janet's. Some tufts of grass from the place where the bones were found. My gloves. I nicked them. I can't do that. My gloves. I nicked. That won't help either. There's no point in that. Won't. No, I can't. That won't get me any. That won't. There's no point. No, of course. No, that. Nothing's happened. That won't get me any further. Think. It would have surprised me if it had worked. I don't want that. No, not a chance. The ceiling of the tower has caved in. The ceiling of the tower has caved in. tower. This castle must have been a real fortress before it collapsed. A tower. This castle must have been a real fortress before it collapsed. It's locked. I should think up something else. Nothing's happening. That won't get me any further. I don't think the wind will be able to scatter a lump of salt like this. There's no point in that. Now the bucket's hanging from the fishing rod. That's futile as well. Think first, Brent. It would have surprised me if it had worked like that. That doesn't work. I thought it wouldn't work like that. No, better not. I should think about it again. These are huge lumps of salt. I should think about it again. That would be stupid. I don't believe it will work like that. It won't work. That doesn't work. A mausoleum. The doors walled up. I expect the lord of the castle's buried in there. It's gigantic. The mausoleum is practically a castle itself. A mausoleum. I expect the lord of the castle's buried in there. I don't think the wind will be able to scatter a lump of salt like this. A gravestone. Pretty weather-beaten. Looks like that won't work. It won't work like that. That won't feel different with gloves either. Nothing's happening. I'd better not light that. Of course, it can't work like that. That won't help either. I thought it wouldn't work like that. That won't get me any further. It won't. Think first, Brent. This doesn't need salting. The green scarf. Think first, Brent. There's a hollow at the top. This doesn't need salting. Think first, Brent. That won't feel different with gloves either. That is no important evidence, I'm sure about that. That doesn't work. I'd better not light that. Nothing's happening. A gravestone. Pretty weather-beaten. Of course, it can't work like that. No way. There's a hollow at the top. Nothing's happening. I can't see any connection there. That won't get me any further. That is no important evidence, I'm sure. That won't feel different with gloves either. Of course, it can't work like that. No, better not. This doesn't need salting. A gravestone. Pretty weather-beaten. There's a hollow at the top. Not a good... I should think up something else. That would be stupid. I should think about it again. That won't help either. Looks like that won't work. A gravestone. Pretty weather-beaten. It seems to have worked. This must be the amulet. I found it. Monsieur le Capitaine.
What can I do for you?
When are you leaving for Portsmouth?
In 2 hours. Are you coming?
Yes.
Then come aboard.
Clothes and stuff. Clothes and stuff. I don't think I need to change my clothes just yet. It's too early to pack. We won't be arriving. It's empty. That won't get me any further. I should think up something else. It would have surprised me if it had worked. That would be stupid. I thought it wouldn't work. I can't. I don't believe. No, that I thought it wouldn't work like that. It's empty. Hold on. I think I'd better leave the amulet in the cabin. I might. Of course, it won't work like. Think first, Brent. I should think about it again. That's futile. That it won't. Looks like that. No. I don't. I thought it wouldn't work like that. That's the bone from Epping Forest. Wrapped up just the way it should be. It won't work. I can't do. It won't work like that. A bunk. Rather sparse. I'm not tired. That's the Amulet of Transformation. I'd really like to know. That's the Amulet of Transformation. I'd really like to know why it's called that. They would have nothing's happening. That's futile as well. It was not a good. No, no, I can't. No, but not of. No, I don't. I should not know. What? Not. I don't want that. No, this doesn't look a very safe place to me. I can't. That's futile as well. No, think that. I don't believe. No, I'd rather. Of course. Nothing's happening. I should think about it again. It won't work like that. I thought it won't work like. Of course, it can't work like that. Perfect hiding place. I think I'll go and get some fresh air. I'm feeling a bit. God, what's been going on here? Someone's broken into my cabin and searched through all my things. The amulet. Where's the amulet? It's been stolen. I don't believe it. Whoever did this made a thorough job. Whoever did this made a thorough job of it. Whoever did this made a thorough job of it. Whoever did this made a thorough job of it. Whoever did this made a thorough job of it. Blast it. The thief must still be on board. But we're pulling into the harbor. I'll never catch him now. Hello, Mr. Blake. I'm back.
And? Did you find the amulet?
That's a long story.
Well, go on then. I can't wait to hear what happened.
I found the amulet. It was walled up in the Lord's mausoleum.
Really? It really does exist then. And you've got it. Show me.
Well, I did have it, but it was stolen from me.
Stolen? How did that happen?
No idea. I hid it in my cabin during the crossing. Someone broke in and rummaged through all my luggage.
Was anything else missing?
No, not a thing.
Someone must have been following you.
I didn't notice anyone. Who could have known I'd been looking for an amulet in that godforsaken dump?
Certain people may be taking a great interest in your investigations, Mr. Howard. Do not underestimate the power of the Druids.
I haven't met anyone who looked like a druid so far.
No, Mr. Halligan. You won't recognize the inheritors by their cloaks and sickles. They're people, just like you and me. They could be powerful industrialists, high-ranking politicians, or influential military men. People in key positions of society.
What can I do then? I can't possibly check up on the entire upper class of British society looking for a couple of druids.
No, but it may be worth your while to keep an eye on groups of neo-druids. If anyone tries to justify their claims to the druids' inheritance, they will.
Neo-druids? What are they?
There are a number of groups around claiming to be the druids' rightful successors. They're organized in orders like Templars or Freemasons.
Tell me more about these neo-druids.
Like I said, the neo-druids try to live their lives according to ancient druid ideals. Some of them do a lot of charitable work as well. But there are some really dubious associations going around, combining the druids' customs with occult rites. Rumors say that there's such a sect at large somewhere in London.
In London, you said? You know where I might find these people?
All I know is that the only people who know anything about the order refer to it as the Circle.
Thank you, Mr. Blake. I'll see what I can make of it.
Good. If you have any more questions, don't hesitate to call. That's light.
One more thing, Mr. Blake.
Yes,
I get the impression this business could get pretty dangerous from now on.
yes. Very likely, Mr. Halligan.
It may be safer for both of us if we let someone else in on the matter. Please call Melanie Turner in Oxford and tell her the whole story. Make sure she learns everything you've told me. She works at the Anthropological Museum. Her number's in the phone book. And tell her I'll get in touch with her myself as soon as possible. Would you do that for me?
Of course, Mr. Halligan. Good luck.
I really don't have the time for a break. Locked.
Halligan, into my office at once.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
Halligan, come on in. I suppose we should be glad that you drop in now and then.
What's the matter, Chief?
You know, Halligan, I was just asking myself what you've been doing.
I've been investigating, Chief.
Well, have you? And do you know what I've been doing? I've been dismissing loads of press people, worried citizens, and politicians from my office. The phone hasn't stopped ringing since this morning. The mayor's been to my office, and I haven't seen much of you. When do you expect to come up with results?
I'm getting there, Chief, but it takes time.
Takes time? Takes time? Will I ever get to hear anything else from a detective? Where the heck have you been, Halligan?
You'll get a report at the end of the week.
The end of the week? Why not at the end of the month or at the end of the year? I want the results on my desk tomorrow morning, Halligan. And now, I want to know where you've been all this time.
You'll find out when you read the report I'm going to write.
Don't be impertinent, Detective. As your chief, I'm entitled to ask you about the results of investigations and your proceedings whenever I like.
Yes, Chief, of course.
That sounds better. Otherwise, I could have you write a report about every single step of your proceedings, and I think you know that.
Very well, then. I was visiting an expert on Druids.
You were what? Halligan, have you lost your marbles? You're not supposed to be indulging in your hobbies. You're supposed to be solving the skeleton murders.
Is that all, Chief?
No, that is not all. One of the phone calls this morning was from the 4th District in Oxford.
Uh-huh. And?
A beggar has been to see them. He claimed that somebody had first put him to sleep and then robbed him. And do you know who that person was? No? A man who calls himself Detective Halligan! Our colleagues looked into the Central Personal Database, and guess what? They found a man by the name of Detective Halligan, and he works for my department. What do you say to that?
When did you receive the phone call from our colleagues?
Oh, less than half an hour ago. Have you any idea how embarrassed I was about the affair? The colleague I talked to said that the beggar still had some of the substance he'd been knocked out with. Medical alcohol with apple juice. Halligan, please tell me you didn't do it.
I had nothing to do with it, Chief, honestly.
Well, I hope so, for your benefit. From now on, I expect you to start looking into the case at hand.
Chief, the beggar must be mistaken. It's a mix-up.
A mix-up? I hope so. If these accusations turn out to be true, you can spend the rest of your professional life washing police cars.
Okay, Chief. I read you.
Indeed? Excellent, Detective. Then get out and do your job. And Halligan, if I should hear that you are conducting your investigations in any dubious or illegal way, I'll take you off the case immediately.
Understood, Chief. Chief?
What is it now, Halligan?
Okay, I'm going. Sorry, sir.
Hey, Halligan. How'd you get on with Miss Turner? Are you going to see her again?
You could say that.
What? Really? Congratulations, mate.
Thank you. Thank you.
And could she help you with the bones?
I think so. I'm on a new trail.
I see. Sounds mysterious.
It is, Chris, it is. Perhaps I'll tell you when I find out more.
All right, Halligan. Good luck anyway.
Thanks.
Just keep that yourself.
Hello, Janet. What about my database inquiry now?
I don't like to repeat myself, Brent. Have you not been listening?
Yes, of course I have.
Well, then you know it all, don't you?
Sure.
In that case, see you later, Brent.
Good. See you later then.
Take your time, Brent.
I should think about it again. No, better not. I don't believe it will work like that. Hello, Janet. It's me again.
I can see that. What is it? Have you forgotten something again?
What about my database inquiry now?
I don't like to repeat myself, Brent. Have you not been listening?
Yes, of course I have.
Well, then you know it all, don't you?
Sure.
In that case, see you later, Brent.
Some tufts of grass from the place where the bones were found. In a bag, for evidence. That's a clipboard. A roll of plastic. My gloves. A bottle of apple juice. That's a clipboard. That's a form for stationery procurement. Without that, you don't get anything at Scotland Yard. I don't believe it will work. Why should I copy that? Why should I copy that? I can't see any. There's no point in that. Looks like that won't work. Not a good idea. Think first. Nothing's happened. That won't get me any further. A roll of plastic bag. Nothing's happening. They would have. That won't get me in. I can't see any connection there. That's a clipboard. That would be stupid. That's a clipboard. Now there is a form for information procurement on the clipboard. Now I've got a clipboard with a form for information procurement. That's a form for stationery procurement. Without that, you don't get anything at Scotland Yard. The carbon paper's still sticking out. The chief is bound to notice that. I should think about it. Now the bucket's hanging from the fishing rod.
Hey, I've had enough. Get your paws off my scissors, will you?
There's no point in that.
Hey, Hey, I've had enough. Get your paws off my scissors, will you?
I'd rather think about it again.
What is it this time, Halligan?
Have you ever heard of an organization called The Circle?
The Circle? Is that somehow connected to the crop circles?
Okay, forget it, Lowry. I know that you'll say no, but I have to ask for your help.
You do actually need help, Halligan. But not from me. Try a social worker. Well,
Do you know how to operate the copying machine?
yes, I do.
And will you tell me?
Just guess.
No?
Quite.
Okay. I'll talk to you later, Lowry. That is no important evidence, I'm sure about that. Fingerprint powder. Al's Pizza Palace. Unfortunately, there's no pizza in Al's Pizza Palace mix. Al's Pizza Palace mix. Al's Pizza Palace mix. Al's Pizza Palace.
Scotland Yard Detective Lowry. Hello? Who's speaking?
It doesn't work like that. You don't hear anything, and nothing happens.
Brent? Hello? Is that you? It's your mother. You know, I hate these modern talking machines. I haven't heard anything from you for months now, Brent. Is that any way to treat your mother? Aunt Annie's celebrating her 75th birthday at the weekend. We have both been invited. You will come, won't you? Brent? And please, wear something smart. Do me a favor.
Oh, God. That's all I need.
Hello, sir. This is Al's Pizza Palace. Your account from last quarter has not yet been paid. It amounts to £275. Please see to it within the next few days, otherwise we will have to stop serving you.
£275? Wow, that's my personal record. I'd better leave that here.
Hello, Mr. Halligan. This is Melanie Turner speaking. I was wondering why I hadn't heard from you, but Mr. Blake just called and told me everything. I'm out and about quite a lot at the moment, and you may have difficulties trying to get me on the phone. But if you need me, just leave a message. See you later.
I'd better leave that here.
Let me give you some good advice, Detective Halligan. Don't interfere with our affairs. It wouldn't be very healthy.
What? Who was that?
Halligan? This is Miller. Damn it, where are you? Do I have to speak to this damned answering machine if I want to get hold of you? If by any chance you happen to turn up in this department, I want to see you in my office. Miller speaking. I've had enough. You better come to my office as soon as possible. Did you get that?
The chief. I'm glad I've got that behind me.
Miller speaking. I've had enough. You better come to my office as soon as possible. Did you get that?
Scotland Yard Detective Lowry.
Miller speaking. I've had enough. You better come to my office as soon as possible. Did you get that?
Oh, of course, sir. I'm coming. I'm on my way.
Lowry is in there. Rather him than me. Show-off always has to bring the latest designer rubbish to the office, as long as it's expensive. You can buy soft drinks for high prices here. Now I've got a clipboard with the form for information procurement and the form for stationery procurement. Phew. I won't find anything I could make use of now in there. I can find my way without a map. It doesn't work like that. I've already got the scissors. I can't see any connection there. That won't get me any further. Chief, I've got an 88M9 order form for stationery here.
For stationery? You need new stationery again? Halligan, you'll lead this department to financial ruin someday. Do you know that?
Yes, sir. No, sir. It's nothing extravagant. I could do with a new pencil sharpener, that's all.
When will you learn to take better care of your things, Halligan? Scotland Yard can't print its own money. Every month, the accounts department gives me a hard time because of the deficit. Our budget for office costs is limited.
I know, Chief, but I'm not able to work without a minimum of stationery. Here, I've prepared this for you. You just need to sign it.
Okay, then. Okay, give it to me. But that's the last time, you understand? You'll have to buy the next sharpener from your own money.
All right, Chief.
Anything else, Detective?
No, that was it.
That's good. You know the way out, don't you, Detective?
Of course, Chief. That's a form for information procurement. I can't do that. That's a form for information procurement. No way. It won't work like that. That's a form for information procurement. It's me again, Janet.
Hello, Brent. How's your case going? Have you got any further yet?
Yes, I've seen an interesting old man. And now I need a database inquiry. This is my 234-2 form, signed by Chief Inspector Miller.
Okay, very good. Which term do you want me to search for?
I'm looking for information about a group called The Circle.
The Circle? Just a sec. It won't take a moment. Yes, we've got something in the database about them. Let me see. An order of Neo-Druids. Their head office is in London. The head of the group is called Lord Sinclair.
Could you please print that out for me?
Of course. Would you mind telling me what these Neo-Druids have to do with your case? Is this one of your usual mad ideas?
I don't think so. I'll have a closer look at these people anyway.
Well then, happy hunting.
Good. Thanks a lot, Janet. I have to go.
Okay, Brent. See you later.
That's the printout of the... No way. That's the printout of the database information on the circle. That's the printout of the database information. That's the printout of the database information on the circle. Lord Sinclair's address is on it as well. 234 Winchester Street. I should leave a message for Miss Turner. Hello? Haven't seen you for a while.
You get lost, you crook. You nicked all my pennies. Me last 60 pence. It's bad enough I get robbed and the police do nothing about it. Now you coppers are nicking the stuff yourselves.
Hey, you shouldn't see it like that. Let's say it was business. I really needed money for the phone, and you got my lovely homemade schnapps in return.
There. Gorgeous schnapps. That stuff wiped me out straight. I want nothing to do with you, mate. Get lost.
Hello? Hello? He's fast asleep. Hello? Hello? He's fast asleep. It won't work like that. You can't get through like that. Let's see if the phone number of the museum is listed in here. Museum, okay. Museum of African Studies, Museum of Ancient History. Here, Anthropological Museum. And the extension of Professor Turner? It's here. I've got it. I can't hear any dialing tone. Some tufts of grass from the place where the bones were found. In a bag, for evidence. I'd rather not cut that. That won't feel different with gloves either. I'd better not light that. I'd better not light that. letterbox of the museum. Locked. Looks like Miss Turner is out. That'll do it. That should be enough for Miss Turner to find me in case something happens to me.
Yes? Who's there?
Is that Lord Sinclair?
No, sir. I'm sorry. I am his lordship's butler.
I'd like to talk to Lord Sinclair.
On what matter, may I ask?
I would rather tell him myself.
I am sorry, sir, but his lordship is not here.
If that's the way you want it, all right then. I'll be back. You can be sure of that.
Of course, sir. Thank you for your visit. Have a nice day. Yes? Who's there?
Is that Lord Sinclair?
No, sir. I'm sorry. I am his lordship's butler.
Scotland Yard. Please open the door.
I regret that his lordship does not receive beggars, salesmen, and police officers as a matter of principle, sir. Besides, Lord Sinclair is not at home at present.
Oh, really? No beggars and police officers, right? In the name of the law, open the door. Otherwise, I'll kick it down.
Mr. Excuse me, what was your name again?
Halligan. Detective Halligan from Scotland Yard.
Detective Halligan, am I correct in assuming that you do not possess a search warrant?
Well,
Then I would like to remind you that violent and unauthorized intrusion onto the estate can be prosecuted.
if that's the way you want it, all right then. I'll be back. You can be sure of that.
Of course, sir. Thank you for your visit. Have a nice day. Yes? Who is it?
It's me again. Open the door.
Sir, I don't think that it makes sense to repeat our unpleasant conversation.
Now you listen to me, my friend. You will now immediately...
I don't mean to interrupt you, sir, but if you don't mind, I will ignore your ringing from now on. Have a nice day, sir.
That's the printout of the database information on the circle. Lord Sinclair's address is on it as well. 234 Winchester Street. That's the gardener's wheelbarrow. I can't do that. Hello. Nice day today, isn't it?
Yeah, the weather's great. Just right for a walk.
Yes, that's what I thought. I didn't want to sit in the office any longer on such a wonderful autumn day.
Yes, I know what you mean. What kind of job do you do then?
Me? Oh, I work... With the Agricultural Office. Administration of public areas. That kind of thing. You know.
Really? Is there something wrong with Lord Sinclair's gardens?
No, everything's fine. I'm here on a private visit. I just wanted to get some fresh air. You work for Lord Sinclair?
Yes, I'm his gardener. It's a big estate he has here, you know. Huge. He needs somebody to look after things on a regular basis.
When did you start working here?
Oh, only a few months ago. The position became vacant through a tragic accident.
What kind of accident?
Lord Sinclair's last gardener was murdered.
What exactly happened?
Nobody knows. He was found on the estate, directly under the window of Lord Sinclair's study. His lordship found him himself.
And how did he die?
Well, that was a terrible thing. He was literally slashed. Some madman must have crept onto the estate.
Does his lordship have any enemies?
Well, rich people are always envied, aren't they? His lordship leads a secluded life and avoids any kind of trouble. But I guess there must be some people who can't stand him. People tell the most horrible stories about him here in the neighborhood, and somebody even sent the police to his house.
Really? And why?
Because of the screams.
Screams? What kind of screams?
His lordship and his friends sometimes go into the forest and do strange screaming exercises.
Pardon me?
Yes, it's just some strange quirk of theirs. You know what the aristocracy can be like.
You said that somebody called the police.
Yes, but of course they couldn't find anything. His lordship was questioned and fined, I think, but not because of the screams, because of the animal trophies in his drawing room.
It was because he hadn't got a shooting license, wasn't it?
Yes, I think that's right. How did you know?
Oh, I just guessed. How big is this piece of land?
At least 10,000 square meters, I would say. There's a big forest behind the house. Lord Sinclair had it laid out himself.
Did he do that recently?
No, that was a long time ago. The trees in the forest look as if they were 100 years old, but of course that's not possible.
Why is that not possible?
Lord Sinclair told me that he had them planted. They must have grown very quickly.
How old is Lord Sinclair?
I don't know exactly, but from his outer appearance I'd say he's about 60.
Would you show me the grounds?
Oh, I would like to do that, but Lord Sinclair has strictly forbidden all employees to take strangers onto the estate.
I see. Are you the only gardener?
Yes, but luckily I don't have to look after the whole garden, only the hedges and the park in front of the house. Lord Sinclair himself takes care of the garden behind the house.
Why does he do that?
I don't know. The forest is his favourite place in the garden. He spends hours and hours there, and nobody is allowed in there, apart from himself and his closest friends.
His lordship must be really close to nature, then.
Oh, he loves nature more than anything else, just like his friends in the club. They make excursions to the countryside as well, to Epping Forest or to Stonehenge, to the Megalith Circle.
Tell me more about the grounds.
Oh, Lord Sinclair's taste is exquisite. The whole park around the house was laid out according to his plans. For the fir tree plantation behind the house, he had young trees flown in from China.
Why was that?
Oh, he likes Chinese firs better, and to him money is no object. If he likes something, he'll buy it.
I have to go. Duty calls. Don't work too hard.
Thanks. Have a good day.
Hello, my friend. It's me again.
Hello. Not in the right mood for office air yet?
Exactly. I'd like to ask you some things concerning our little conversation.
Of course. Just ask. I'll be finished here soon anyway.
What are you doing at the moment?
I have to cut the hedges. They grew rampantly this summer. Lord Sinclair doesn't want them to project over the paths where they could be in the way of walkers. He's a conscientious person.
Oh, is he?
Oh, yes, absolutely. He leads a very secluded life here, and he's always conscious of not doing anything that could annoy other people.
What could annoy people out here?
Well, somebody could feel disturbed by disorderly hedges, for example, or somebody could get hurt. There would be a complaint or a caution or something like that. And Lord Sinclair would have to deal with it. He doesn't like things like that. He wants everything done in a way that guarantees that he won't be bothered.
Ah, you mean he wants to be left in peace?
Yes, you could say that. Even I don't see him very often. He often travels with a gentleman from his club.
Does he travel often? Is he at home right now?
Yes, he is at home at the moment. He has some visitors. I think he and his friends are planning a little party. They're going to have dinner together tonight. They have done that quite often recently.
Are there going to be many guests?
Well, Lord Sinclair told me that he expects the 4 gentlemen from his club, and, as usual, a guest of honour.
Really? A guest of honour?
Yes, that must be one of the club's traditions. They always invite one guest of honour to their dinners. Lord Sinclair always says that the guest of honour is the main person of a successful dinner. He is very hospitable. His guests are very important to him.
Hasn't he got employees who arrange these things for him?
Oh, sure. But his lordship is very choosy regarding those dinners. He insists on cooking everything himself and even buys the ingredients. He's a really passionate cook.
Really? You don't often find that with people who needn't worry about money. If I was rich, I'd have all my meals served in bed.
So would I. You can bet your life on that. But really rich people have their own ideas about all that. Lord Sinclair always cooks meals himself. He even locks the kitchen door. He probably doesn't want other people to know the recipes he uses.
I have to go. Duty calls. Don't work too hard.
Thanks. Have a good day.
Hello, my friend. It's me again.
Hello. Not in the right mood for office air yet?
Exactly. I'd like to ask you some things concerning our little conversation.
Of course. Just ask. I'll be finished here soon anyway.
What are you doing at the moment?
I have to cut the hedges. They grew rampantly this summer. Lord Sinclair doesn't want them to project over the paths where they could be in the way of walkers. He's a conscientious person.
Oh, is he?
Oh, yes, absolutely. He leads a very secluded life here, and he's always conscious of not doing anything that could annoy other people.
Ah, you mean he wants to be left in peace?
Yes, you could say that. Even I don't see him very often. He often travels with a gentleman from his club.
What's Lord Sinclair's profession?
You mean, does he work? Or you don't have to work when you're that rich. I think he plays the stock market. And sometimes his bodyguards talk about new deliveries. Lord Sinclair is certainly involved in some sort of import-export business. But between you and me, I don't think that he needs the money. I think business is just a hobby of his, or something like that.
He's a member of a club?
Yes, of course. It's natural for a man of his class to be a member of a club. And Lord Sinclair has been a member of his club for as long as I can remember. He regularly meets the other gentlemen.
What kind of club is it?
Oh, I don't know the name either. The gentlemen are very discreet, but that's normal in these circles. It must be a very exclusive club with only a few members and an ancient tradition.
I have to go. Duty calls. Don't work too hard.
Thanks. Have a good day.
Hello, my friend. It's me again.
Hello. Not in the right mood for office air yet?
Exactly. I'd like to ask you some things concerning our little conversation.
Of course. Just ask. I'll be finished here soon anyway.
What are you doing at the moment?
I have to cut the hedges. They grew rampantly this summer. Lord Sinclair doesn't want them to project over the paths where they could be in the way of walkers. He's a conscientious person.
Oh, is he?
Oh, yes, absolutely. He leads a very secluded life here, and he's always conscious of not doing anything that could annoy other people.
Ah, you mean he wants to be left in peace?
Yes, you could say that. Even I don't see him very often. He often travels with a gentleman from his club.
I have to go. Duty calls. Don't work too hard.
Thanks. Have a good day.
That's futile as well. I'd rather think about it again. I'd rather not cut that. It's locked. There's an open window. Looks like that won't work. No, better not. That won't feel different with gloves either. That would be stupid. I'd better not light that. That doesn't work. The green scarf. It's Janet's. That doesn't work. Some of the wires are too thick for these little scissors. Some of the wires are too thick for these little scissors. Some of the wires are too thick for these. It's locked. That's the gardener's wheelbarrow. Hello, my friend. It's me again.
Hello? Not in the right mood for office air yet?
Exactly. I'd like to ask you some things concerning our little conversation.
Of course. Just ask. I'll be finished here soon anyway.
What are you doing at the moment?
I have to cut the hedges. They grew rampantly this summer. Lord Sinclair doesn't want them to project over the paths where they could be in the way of walkers. He's a conscientious person.
Oh, is he?
Oh, yes, absolutely. He leads a very secluded life here, and he's always conscious of not doing anything that could annoy other people.
Ah, you mean he wants to be left in peace?
Yes, you could say that. Even I don't see him very often. He often travels with a gentleman from his club.
He's a member of a club?
Yes, of course. It's natural for a man of his class to be a member of a club, and Lord Sinclair has been a member of his club for as long as I can remember. He regularly meets the other gentlemen.
What's Lord Sinclair's profession?
You mean, does he work? Well, you don't have to work when you're that rich. I think he plays the stock market. And sometimes his bodyguards talk about new deliveries. Lord Sinclair is certainly involved in some sort of import-export business. But between you and me, I don't think that he needs the money. I think business is just a hobby of his, or something like that.
So he has bodyguards?
Of course. A man in his position needs them. And I can tell you, you wouldn't fool around with them. 2 former officers from the Foreign Legion. You know what kind of people they are. I'm always very careful with them anyway. I try to keep out of their way.
Is his lordship afraid of something?
I think he's just a very careful man.
What kind of club is it?
Oh, I don't know the name either. The gentlemen are very discreet, but that's normal in these circles. It must be a very exclusive club with only a few members and an ancient tradition.
I have to go. Duty calls. Don't work too hard.
Thanks. Have a good day.
That's the gardener's wheelbarrow. That's the gardener's wheelbarrow. That won't feel different with gloves either. I'd better not light that. Pair of shears, very solid and very sharp. Now the bucket's hanging from the fishing rod. 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 These are Lowry's paper scissors. He must be looking. Damn, the shears are broken. Now the scissors are broken as well, but the hole should be big enough now. Stop. Wait a minute. The fence is electrified. Think first, Brent. That's futile. I'd rather think about it again. Climb through here? And what if I touch the fence? Not a good idea. I don't want that. I should think up something. I have to insulate the hole somehow. I thought it would. It won't. That won't get me any. Now the bucket's hanging from the fishing rod. That doesn't work. I don't want that. Think first, Brent. I should think up something else. I can't do that. I don't want that. That won't help either. That won't help either. It would have surprised me if it had worked like that. I don't believe it will work like that. That won't get me any further. I can't do that. Nothing's happening. Looks like that won't work. That's futile as well. Climb through. That would be stupid. I don't. That would be. Looks like that won't help. Looks like that won't. I should think up. That won't get me any. It won't work like. I can't see any. That won't help. It won't work like that. That won't get me any further. I should think. Looks like that. That won't. Think. That's. I'd rather. There's no. I can't think first. I should think. It would have surprised me if it had worked like that. A bottle of apple juice. My gloves. A roll of plastic bag. Think first, Brett. It won't. Fingerprint powder. My case file. Janet's ugly scarf, wrapped up in a plastic bag.
How do you do, Mr. Halligan? How nice of you to visit us.
You know my name?
Certainly. Lord Sinclair has been expecting you.
He has? Is that boss of yours some kind of psychic or what?
Why don't you ask him that yourself? Let's go.
Mr. Halligan, it is a great pleasure to meet you in person at long last.
The pleasure's mine. Would you mind telling your charming pet gorilla here to point his damn pistol somewhere else?
Please forgive us this precautionary measure, Mr. Halligan. I happen to be a distrustful man. Jack.
Lord Sinclair, now that we've met, there are a few questions I'd really like to ask you.
Certainly, certainly. After dinner I will answer any questions you deign to ask me. Until then, please be my guest. Jack, please be good enough to show our guest to his chamber.
You do not seem to be quite aware of the situation you are in, Lord Sinclair. I'm a detective from Scotland Yard. I don't want to have dinner with you. I'm here because of a series of murders in which you are a prime suspect.
With all due respect, Mr. Halligan, I took you for a wiser man than that. If anyone here is unaware of the situation they are in, you are. I have asked you to be my guest at dinner. Please don't disappoint me by refusing. Otherwise, I will have to ask Jack here to persuade you to stay in his own way.
I understand. I'm to stay here voluntarily, because if I don't, you'll force me. Is that it?
I'm glad we've settled that. Now, if you would please follow my friend Jack, he will show you to your room. We will discuss everything else in detail later, over dinner.
Let's go.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Locked up in Lord Sinclair's house.